everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the pleasure of meeting Dakota and Aurora. They're the Wisconsinites, and we get to take a tour of their really cool van. Guys, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thanks for wanting to tour it. We're excited.
Yeah, I saw it on the side of the road, and I was like, I saw the sign, I looked them up, and I was like, that is some really good content, really cool, funny, entertaining little reels that I saw, and so definitely recommend. So yeah, so let's go take a tour of your rig, and let's go.
Sounds good.
All right, so this is your van.
It is. This is our beautiful home.
Perfect. And what year is it?
It's a 1989 Dodge Extra van. So it's a B series van, but it was converted by Explorer.
Oh.
So It was originally an RV, and now unfortunately we had to gut it, but it is now all new in there.
Oh, very cool. Okay. And then how long have you guys been on the road now?
So I don't know the exact number of days. We had a day counter before, but now we're only at 8 months. So we're pretty new to it, but we've learned a lot in the last 8 months, and we've gotten to meet a ton of awesome people. So like, there's no plan to go back to the house we had.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
I love it. And just real quick, why did you guys even hit the road? Like, what was the inspiration? What made this happen?
You want to take that one?
It's a hard one. Yeah, so we went on a vacation in 2013. It was like our first vacation as a couple, and we loved it. But we decided to go to college, and we did that route, and we worked for 3 years, and then realized all our vacation time kept getting denied, and we just never really got a chance to do things. And so we decided we're going to do it now or we're going to do it never. And so we quit our jobs, and this popped up on Facebook, and it all just kind of fell into place.
That is awesome. And so had you heard of like van dwelling before, like van life?
Yeah, she was like really into it already. Like she was watching like tons of Bob Wells videos. She was watching all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't really my thing. I'm like, I can't imagine living that small of a space. Like that just seems like a lot. It wasn't my thing at first.
Okay.
And but like we started looking into it more. I actually started doing research on it, and all of a sudden I saw the appeal of it.
Okay.
But at first I was like, absolutely not. But then I got to meet some people that were doing it, and it like kind of just progressed, and eventually we were like, yeah, like this is such a unique opportunity to have at this point of our lives to go do something like this that, you know.
Yeah. Now, where did you guys grow up, and where did you leave from?
So we are the Wisconsinites because we are from Wisconsin.
I figured. I hope that was the case.
Yeah.
We are from southeastern Wisconsin. We grew up in a small town called East Troy.
Okay.
Basically, nobody knows where that is unless you've heard of like Alpine Valley is the big thing there. It's a concert venue that a lot of people go to.
I have heard of that.
See?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Because they have skiing there too,
They
right?
do have skiing.
Yeah.
Yep. But otherwise, there's not much in the town. But it's a cool town, and we grew up there. Moved to Milwaukee to go to school, and then we realized that we wanted to do this, so we left from Milwaukee shortly after. Yeah. So.
That's perfect. All right. So yeah, let's take a quick tour of your van, and show us around.
Yeah, come on in. We're kind of minimalists, so we don't have a lot of things on the walls.
Okay.
However, we're working on getting better about actually committing to getting decorations and putting things up because we're quite indecisive.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's why you see the white walls with very little on it.
Oh, it's beautiful. I like the simplicity of everything in here.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So we can sleep either way.
Okay.
This way is obviously a little narrower. It's not a standard. I think it's only actually like 68 inches, so it's actually shorter than some of the other vehicles in the back.
Okay.
And the walls are very rounded. So we do sleep this way. Usually we lay the other way actually, so like our pillows would be over here.
Okay.
For watching movies and stuff.
But, gotcha.
We have a board under here that we can pull out. And it's just a piece of plywood, but basically we can set it on top of this, and it stretches from here to here, so that we could lay this way as well. So it kind of becomes obviously a much larger bed.
Do you put like a padding or something under there?
Yeah, so you can't see it, but it's this pad.
Oh,
So
it's that. Oh, gotcha.
We can I can set it up for you eventually here too. But we have another pad that basically we pull this out and it lays across, and then we just put that pad on it, and then we can have the bed be fully extended this way.
Now, have you guys always been like kind of minimalist and stuff?
That's her. This is a question for her.
There we go. So, all right, tell me about your minimalism.
So we don't like to say that we're minimalist,
Okay.
but because we had always been working to travel, we had constantly been giving away stuff and donating it, and working towards having that 333 wardrobe and, you know, only so many items.
What's a 333 wardrobe?
So it's 33 items for 3 months. So you can kind of rotate it with the seasons, and you wear like a lot of neutrals, so you can have, you know, 3 months worth of outfits, but you only have 33 items. So Dakota's he has this space up here.
Okay.
We share this one.
Okay.
And then he has this one.
Gotcha.
And then these 2 are mine.
Those 2 are yours. Okay.
Yep.
So he has 2, you have 2, and then you have a share.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, that's great. And did you guys do this build yourself?
Yeah.
We did.
How long did it take you?
That's you.
You guys can both be on
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah,
can.
we can certainly both be. Yeah. So to actually do the build, so we got the van in September, I think, of 2020.
Okay.
And we tried to do a lot of the work during the winter, and in Wisconsin it was freezing.
Yes.
And we didn't have a building to work in. Okay. So I like rebuilt the suspension in like 10 degrees. It was miserable. I was having to go inside, and like it was just,
fingers are numb.
We should have went to Mexico and then came back.
We should have just went on vacation and then came back to do it. But we decided to do it mostly in the winter. So we spent, I want to say, being in Wisconsin was difficult because we actually had a really bad leak in here. Okay. So it was really hard to test for leaks because it was always so cold. So you couldn't really just pour water on it because it would just freeze. So there was not a great way to really water test. We thought we'd fix it, and then all of a sudden we'd finally get a warm enough day that we could try it, and then it would leak again.
It would leak
So
everywhere.
we spent a ton of time. We probably spent, I don't know, what did we spend? 5, 6 months?
We had to wait for a 70-degree day. Okay. And by the time we found out we had a leak, it was November. So we had to wait till March. We had to wait till March until we could actually paint the roof and like redo the fiberglass.
Yeah, basically 6 months to try to stop it from leaking. We gutted it. It was empty.
Oh yeah.
And then we spent 6 months trying to get it, like the walls not to leak and everything to stop, the windows to not leak.
So you did that all before you started building stuff out.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because
but that was like the hard part, because in winter we knew we could build it out really fast, but we didn't want to build it out and then we didn't fix the leak and then we'd have to re-gut. So we just kind of sat for a couple months.
And then I think it took us maybe 2 months to build it actually. Like once we could actually stop the leak, it took us 2 months. And like, I mean, there's plenty of imperfections. I feel like that's anybody's build, but we're not carpenters. You know, I'm an accountant by trade and she's a nurse. So
definitely woodworking skills is part of your repertoire.
Yeah. No, not until the last 2 months when we had to build it, but otherwise, we never really did any woodworking. So there's plenty of imperfections, but we've grown to love them, I would say.
Yeah.
So
did you learn a lot of that stuff from like YouTube videos or friends, or just trial and error?
Well, there's always trial and error.
Yeah, lots of trial and error. Yeah, the amount of plywood that we messed up and had to buy more was.
Yeah, we did this, during the pandemic, and the wood prices were crazy. Like getting plywood, I think we paid like, I don't even know, for birch ply, I think it was like $70 or $80 a sheet. Like, it just wasn't cheap. And, so we were pretty careful on materials on what we tried to use and like try to be very purposeful and plan out our designs.
Let's talk about food. So where is your kitchen and what do you guys do for food?
So this is our pantry. It's actually pretty barren right now.
Yeah.
We actually really need to go grocery shopping, but we have all these bins. There's obviously more bins behind it. And then there's the 3 levels. So that's where we basically repackage anything. We try to use reusable containers as much as we can too, to just repackage things, because you buy stuff and it comes in this giant box or whatever.
Of course.
So we break it down and put it in other things just to make the space more efficient.
Good idea.
So that's where all of our pantry items are.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fridge.
That's for fruit and veggies, but it's empty.
Yeah, we are kind of in a food desert here.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It was full.
Yeah, it was full. But...
Well, that means you guys are getting your fruits and veggies. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is your cooktop?
Yep, that's our oven.
Go ahead.
So we really like pizza, cinnamon rolls. We didn't want to miss out on all that. So we opted for a large oven.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And we don't regret it at all. We would definitely put another one in.
That's beautiful. And that runs off of propane?
Yes, it runs off propane.
Okay.
So we're very fortunate to have a pretty large cooler, at least in our opinion. We've never had a fridge of this style before. We've always had, the normal house up and down ones. But now we have a cooler fridge. But we actually have really grown to like it and kind of are still figuring out how to organize it. But It is 12 volt and it's on these slides, so it fits under the sink and under our counter here where our kitchen and stuff is. But it nicely slides out, and then, you know, we can open it up and put whatever we need to in here. There's not much in there right now. The other side.
So it's one side a fridge, one side's a freezer?
Yep. So the way it works is it can be either or. So it has two settings. These are the two temperature settings. Right now we're operating them both as a fridge. Okay. However, we can turn one side in, whichever side we would like, into a freezer, but it's simply lowering the temperature.
And then what is under that thing?
This is our charge station. So all of our electronics, that way if we're driving and we need to charge them, we know they're not going to fly off the counter.
We have 120 outlets back here and a 12 volts, and then we can basically put all of our devices in here and have them charge while we're driving.
Wow, that's a cool little cubby.
Thanks.
I really like that. And it's just on a, looks like a piano hinge of some sort?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's excellent. And it just, that's so seamless. So you have all that counter space.
Mm-hmm.
That was the purpose.
We wanted the counter space. We lived in apartments with no counter space, and we're like, nope, never again. Like, this is already tiny. But
we wanted to be able to cook. We like cooking. We're not good at cooking by any means. We're still learning a lot.
Of course.
But we realize how much counter space is important to be able to cook, spread out, to have all these ingredients, and you can't always have these huge glorious meals, but occasionally it's we can create, we have enough room that if we want to make something from scratch, we actually have enough counter space. And we were afraid to put too much stuff on the counters or walls that it would enclose it, and then we wouldn't have that. So
you moved into a van to get more counter space.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's unusual.
Nobody does it for that reason, but for us, this is more counter space than we ever had.
Yeah.
This is amazing. My motorhome has a quarter of this counter space. It is gorgeous. I mean, look at these counters. They're fabulous.
Thank you.
And then you also have another cubby that looks like it opens there. What does that one do?
Yeah. This is the hidden spot. Same obviously design with a piano hinge, but basically all that's in here is our toilet. Unfortunately, it's not the prettiest toilet because we have the actual still original toilet.
Oh, okay.
We would like to upgrade it to a nice new one that is not yellow, but
Mine's
this is
yellow
our.
too. It's all right.
This
it's
is
the
our
70s and 80s.
Yeah, that was the design. So that is that space.
That is super well hidden. And so that's the original toilet, and and so you still have your black water tank and so forth underneath.
Yep.
Okay.
It's great. We love having a black tank. I know a lot of people use composting toilets, and that's kind of the original way we were gonna go. However, we already had a spot for it. We actually did have to replace the black tank, so we could have switched it out with something, but it actually has been great for us. We actually really enjoy having the black tank and the simplicity of how long it gives us to actually be out and not have to empty things.
Yeah, so how long can you guys go out between dumping black tank and so forth?
So usually a week, but we have gone 3 weeks before. It
depends on how much we use it and where we're at, of course. There's variables, but usually it's about a week and then we'll have to dump.
Okay. So now what do you do for electricity in here? What's your system like?
So everything is basically 12 volt. We have an inverter to charge our laptops and stuff because we both do work on the road. So that obviously is important to us, but basically everything in here is 12 volt. So under these, you can't see them probably very easily unless you go lower, but there's lights under everything, so I can turn it off over anything.
Oh, nice.
So we have puck lights everywhere.
Okay.
We also have another switch back here for reading lights under the bed. And we have a number of outlets kind of all over the place, some up in the front, as well as the outlets I've obviously showed you guys in here.
Yep. That's perfect.
And then our battery monitor is, I guess, kind of the only thing that's really in here. Okay. We have a fuse panel, and then it's not as pretty as I would like, but that's how we monitor our system, so we can see
it's effective.
The current that we're drawing, and as well as the battery percentage, and kind of just lets us keep a track of our systems.
So then what size batteries do you have when we're talking about 12 volt?
So we're looking to upgrade our batteries. We're doing some research on that. We've been watching a lot of videos of a bunch of different people to kind of get some ideas of what the best route is. Right now we have two 100 amp hours. In 8 months we haven't plugged in anywhere.
Cool.
So we haven't overdrawn, or we've traveled enough with the sun, I guess, that we've stayed ahead of it.
And then what about solar panels? How much solar do you have on top?
So we have 200 watts of solar up top. Looking to either add another panel or potentially just get a larger size. Another thing I'm looking into now that I understand it a little more, but the 200 watts does quite a bit. Like I said, it keeps us up we both work remote, so we both work online. So a big thing for us is making sure that we can keep our computers charged, and we have an internet device that lets us take internet anywhere we go. So we basically want to make sure that we always have those charged, because obviously during the week it's pretty important for us to continue to work.
Yeah. Do you have a generator or anything?
Nope. So we don't have a generator. We basically completely rely on solar, and then we also have a DC to DC charger from our battery, so we can charge while we're driving. We can also charge our battery bank. We do move enough. Usually we stay in a place for up to 2 weeks, but usually during that time, since this is our only vehicle, we drive at least a bit to go get groceries or something anyway. So we end up having enough power that we haven't needed it. Not that I'd be opposed to it, I guess, in the future, but for us, the system works and we're happy with it.
You have 2 people in a small space. How do you guys manage? What do you do to make that happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, right, you're right, exactly right. We're in a small space, so a big thing for us is, we love each other. We have so much fun all the time, but every relationship, regardless of what it is, sometimes you need your own personal space, even if it's just a couple minutes just to catch your breath, or, just to do what you want, not have any distractions, or not, see any other movement. So what we'll actually do is we'll occasionally put up a curtain in between us. So like one of us will sit up here in the chairs and the other one will be in the bed, or someone will be outside and someone will be in the van. We've gotten really good about when you live in such a small space, you spend so much time together, basically every day, all the time. Like we see each other in every stage, the good and the bad, right? So to be able to have defined spaces, whether it's the outside or inside, and actually get away and just have your own personal space, I think is how we deal with it. Like I said, we do a lot together, but it's you need that space every now and then.
You do. And I also noticed you have like a nice kind of outdoor sitting area as well.
I'll let you do this one.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we have this rug because we like to be barefoot, but the desert and some terrains aren't always friendly to that.
Kind of pokey.
Yeah, kind of pokey. Yeah, lots of cactuses. We have these chairs. They're actually backpacking chairs. We do a lot of backpacking, so it's nice that we can have them here or on the trails. And then for anyone who's working outside, we actually have like a little charging station out here.
Oh, that's cool. Dakota, Aurora, thank you so much for showing us the inside of your van. That was incredible, and thank you for taking the time to answer all of my questions, because I always have a lot. So.
Yeah, it was great. We were so happy to have you. We love showing everybody our home, and you were entertaining for us to be with, so thanks for making our day as well.
Hey, excellent. It goes both ways. So folks out there, thank you so much for tuning in today. What did you think of their build? I love the countertops personally, because I don't have that much countertops in my space. Loved it. What do you guys think? What's your favorite part? Let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, give us that big thumbs up, show us some love, and until next time, we'll see you all down the road. Thanks, guys.